Hi guys, and welcome back to Cryptochesterg. I'm here today to give you an update on Kava. We're going to be going through this from a market structure perspective to start off with. Then we're going to be looking at key moving averages, volume weighted ATR bands, very strong key levels to be looking out for there over the next few months or so. Once we're done with that, we're going to be going into a market prediction for how high this could be going over the next 6 months to a year or so over the next bull run. Okay, so starting off with market structure, guys, this is very interesting. Obviously, we have had a pretty big dump to start the year off for crypto, obviously with all the ETF, FUD and FOMO and stuff coming into the charts right now. That's probably exactly why this is happening. And what I'm talking about to start off with, guys, is market structure. Okay, so market structure right now, the highest high, the higher high point that we have hit here is currently in this trend around 97 cents. Yes, we had a huge pullback, but if we're looking at market structure, guys, the previous market structure higher low that we do have plotted in on this chart, it is actually going to be all the way down here at this level here, 70 cents. Okay, so even if we again, I've said this before in many videos before, that even if we come down to this level, it's still going to be bullish, guys, because it's going to be the market structure that we need to respect. So what we're looking for now is to essentially break this high. If we can break this high, then this basically means that this is confirmed as the higher low. But unfortunately, because we did actually come all the way down here and test this, it's still actually going to be bullish even if we come down here, guys. So that does mean we do have a 14% move potentially to the downside to have here. If it does do that and it does come down and find support on this level, it's actually still respecting market structure. It's still in a bullish uptrend and it's still looking pretty good. Okay, so what I would say in terms of a buying area for Kava, if you're looking for a point there, I mean, you should have bought the hell out of this dump, right? You buy the dips, baby. You buy the dip of the dip, and as a good friend of mine says. And basically, if we do come down to this area, guys, I am going to be buying up more Kava. And this is a definite buy point to be looking out for there. In terms of a price for that, it's going to be 70 cents and 69 cents there as well. Now, you're probably asking me, guys, you're probably thinking, but you've got a higher high here, and we had a significant pullback, and we broke the high. So surely, shouldn't this be a higher low? I mean, technically, you are correct, okay? Technically, you are correct. But the reason why this is sort of, it's not invalid, but it's not very strong. It's not strong enough that we've broken it to basically confirm the reverse of the trend. It's strong enough because we only just really broke the high with momentum, guys. There's not really that much momentum over the previous high. So that basically measures here how strong that higher low in terms of market structure would be. And you can see here, from a percentage perspective, it was literally like pathetic. It was like not even 1% over that high, okay? So this basically means that this higher low is actually invalid, and we're not really going to take it into account. And what we are currently doing, we're setting a more prominent higher low with this pullback, okay? Now, let's look at market structure. No, we've looked at market structure. Let's look at the WOD machine. Let's look at some volume weighted ATR bands, and let's basically see some really key big areas of support. Now, first thing I want to touch on, guys, is MAs, moving averages. You can see we've actually pretty much respected them all the way up in this trend. Okay, we have respected them all the way up in this trend. The key areas of support I am circling on the chart right now, and you can see where have we just closed this very strong daily macro candle. The area that we have just closed it in is pretty prominent, okay? And the reason why I'm saying this is pretty prominent and very strong is because you can see the 200 EMA here at 80 cents, and you can see the 55 EMA there at 81 cents. And you can see every time that we come down and test these two, we usually, in this uptrend, we're holding that level of support or having that rebound to the upside in terms of momentum. So what does that tell us right now? It tells us that we've had the candle body close above both of them, and usually we're probably going to see a nice little correction here in terms of the price to the upside, okay? So that's sort of what I would expect to the upside here for the short term, probably coming up again to the 21 EMA at around 85, 83. If we can get above the 21 and we can get above the 7 SMA again, guys, I would expect this scenario, okay? The scenario that I'm referring to is this candle here, and you can see really nice massive move to the upside from there. So the key areas to be looking out for there for another move to the upside, it's gonna be around 87 cents, guys. Currently priced at around 83 cents for Kava, so make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. In terms of trend lines, in terms of volume weighted ATR bands, which we will go into in a second, you can see we're pretty much sat on a very prominent trend line here is again, guys, which basically means that we're looking for that support. You can see all the other times that we have tested this level we actually have had very, very strong momentum to the upside. So that's another sign that we're going to have bullish momentum coming through from this area. And hey, guys, if we do break this trend line for resistance, it's absolutely fine because, again, even if we come down to this higher-low structure, we're likely to have a very, very strong bounce and respect bullish market structure and sentiment from that area, okay? So now let's bring up the volume-weighted ATR bands because they're very, very important, guys. Volume-weighted average true range here. Now you can see the very, very important areas, 60-minute and the 15-minute, okay? You can see we actually have had that candle body close again above that zone. We haven't quite tested these yet, guys. So that is an inclination that we might have a bit of downside to these volume-weighted ATR bands, and then we're probably going to wick to them and then probably bounce up again to the 21 EMA, as I was just saying a second ago, okay? So that's sort of what I would say about the volume-weighted ATR bands. In terms of the daily, in terms of the 12-hour, we are actually currently below both of them here. So what does that tell us? It tells us that essentially we're going to be using them as targets to the upside, okay? So that is the target to the upside. It is going to be the previous high there, which isn't great because it basically means that we're probably going to find some resistance from the previous high. But what I would say here, guys, if we do break that to the upside, which we can, then the next target is going to be at the daily, okay? So let's get some prices in for that so you guys can mark these in on your chart. That's going to be around 98 cents there, and up to the daily it's going to be around $1.07, okay? So those are going to be the bullish targets to be looking out for there. And guys, we will find resistance off these areas. So whether we come up, come down like that, come up, test it again, come up like so, and then probably running that wave, something along the lines of that, guys, okay? So remember, it's not just going to go parabolic to the upside. We will have pullbacks. So in terms of selling your asset and buying back, these are the areas that I would be looking for. Obviously not financial advice and all that good stuff. Now let's look at key areas for this uptrend to continue and what points we could be referencing here, okay? So let's get rid of these areas for a second. And let's just bring in some horizontals, okay? And before that, after that, guys, we're basically going to be going into a price prediction for the next 6 months to a year for this potential bull run that we are coming into there. And we can be looking at very, very key, strong areas to be looking out for there for this asset. So you can see why I'm plotting these in, guys. You can see the resistance from this area has been very, very strong, even after these massive, massive moves. So this basically tells us we're likely to find resistance here again. And if we don't find resistance here again, guys, what we're going to do, we're going to find support and use this as essentially support to the upside, okay? So that's going to be a point to be looking out for there again. Now let's look at this point here. You can see very, very strong support, very, very strong support. I mean, the moves, the support from these moves, guys, it's 50% to the upside for this asset, okay? So there's very, very strong momentum here. Even here, guys, it's still a 14% move there. Obviously, I'm on the daily, right? So it basically shows that very, very big, a lot bigger moves, right? So that's what I'm trying to say here. But yeah, in terms of key areas to be looking out for there, probably would be plotting in. Not going to go into too much detail. I just want to get sort of a slightly better narrative to present to you guys here, okay? So the points to really be looking out for there over the next couple of months here is probably going to be these prices that I've got plotted in on the chart here: 122, 140, 212 and 234 and 288 there, okay? So if you're looking for a sort of a trend, probably going to do something along the lines of that, and then probably something along the lines of that. I don't know, but that's sort of how the chart is going to be behaving from a support and resistance standpoint. Obviously, we're going to be throwing in MAs. Obviously, we're going to be throwing in volume-weighted ATR bands as well, guys. So make sure you're using that as a reference, okay? But yeah, if you want to copy these, mark these in on the chart, feel free. Now let's get into the price prediction of what we can be expecting here for Kava, okay, over the next 6 months to a year, coming into this nice big juicy bull run of 2024, okay? So you can see all-time high on this chart, on the Bybit chart, is going to be $5.80, okay? It's going to be $5.80, and you can see here on CoinMarketCap, let's see what we've got. $5.80 was on the chart. It's actually up at around $8.70, okay? So that basically, near enough going to be a 10x, guys. That's going to be ridiculous. So let's draw that in on the chart in terms of a price range to see what percentages we could be making here if we were just to buy this asset at this current price and hold it for the next sort of year and a half or so, okay? And this is just purely from a spot perspective, guys. Purely from a spot perspective. Was it $8.70? Yeah, purely from a spot perspective, if you were to hold this over the next year and a half, you're probably looking at a nice 10x on your investment. Okay, $8.70. Yeah, so around 963% to the upside. That is insanely lucrative, guys. That basically means it's going to be a 9.5x to the moon, okay? So if you put in $10,000, you're going to be coming out with like $90,000 or something along the lines of that, right? Absolutely insane. Am I bullish on this asset? Absolutely. Do I think it's got a little bit more to go? Yes, I do. Will we have corrections on the way up? Absolutely, guys. Please be aware of that. And in terms of key buying areas, we just looked at basically the market structure area here. If we were coming down to these so cheap prices, guys. If we're coming down to these areas, these are really, really, really crucial buys, okay? And you can see momentum from this area, again, that we have currently just witnessed. Very, 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 very strong, okay? So actually, I would expect more bullish momentum to the upside for this asset. So overall, over the next 6 months to a year, I am very, very bullish on Kava, and I do think we are going to see all-time highs get reached within that time period. Thank you ever so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. And if you do like Kava, if you like the content, smash a like on it. It does help the video out tremendously. And we want to show this out to more people, right? Get more people involved in this asset, okay? And that's what the algorithm will be doing. And if you do hold Kava or you're going to be buying Kava, let me know in the comments section, guys. I want to know your opinions here on what you think of this asset. And I'll get back to you with what I think as well. But yeah, thank you ever so much for watching. Do appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. But for now, it's going to be peace out and goodbye from me, Crypto Chester.